to make the neuropathy permanent. But once that happens, that's a scientific medical fact. And that's the way Sharon experienced it. Constant. 24 hours a day. Aching, terrible pains. And it went away instantly and permanently. In a flash. So, you're welcome not to believe. When you said it was curable, see, you said that distal neuropathy, peripheral neuropathy, was curable. That's a lie. It is not. It is not curable. Yes, you did, loop-de-loop. Everyone heard you say it. You said it was. And that's a lie.
No, I never said it was curable.
Was curable. Now you're lying to save face. You.
Well, how about not cutting me off and let me finish a short sentence? I didn't say it was. I said I got better. That's all I said. I never said it was curable. I just said it got better. And so the body can heal itself. That's what that comes down to. But no, I never said it was curable in terms of medically curable. Never said it. Not once. Go back to the chat logs. It's not there.
You implied that it was curable. You said, when I said it cannot be cured, you said that's not true. Those are your exact words. That's not true. And that is true. It cannot be cured. So you did lie. You said it was curable. But it's not curable. And again, count your lucky stars. You did imply it. But count your lucky stars that it didn't mature enough in you that yours would go away. That it went into remission. You better hope it doesn't come back again too. I hope it doesn't, honestly. I mean that. I hope it doesn't, for your sake. Because you can, and I hope it doesn't.
It's over there. It's over there.
Or at least we can say this. She was cured of it instantly with the laying on of hands and a prayer, whether you can believe that or not. If you think you disbelieve that, and I'm sure you do, I'd like for you to show me where a doctor can do that. Lay his hands on a patient's medical treatment, rather. Make distal neuropathy pain go away permanently. And I'm not talking about doping somebody up so much that they can't hardly think straight or walk or talk right. I'm talking about make the pain stop. Okay? Once the damage is done and complete and the neuropathy severe enough that the pain is incessant, constant, 24 hours a day, once the damage comes to that point, there is nothing a doctor can do for the patient except prescribe drugs to ease the pain. Okay? But if you think a doctor can do something to quit and stay gone, I'd sure like to know what that is. Maybe you can tell us about something science doesn't know about.
Neph, I mean, the reason that my neurologist sent me to Mayo is because he had no was in constant pain, and that's why I was on pain medicines, and that was why I was on the gabapentin and the tramadol, and I was on those drugs, and they weren't helping me. That's why he sent me to Mayo. And you're right, the doctor couldn't help me. Dr. Robert Feely, who, as I said before, is the guru of peripheral neuropathy, and he was the one who did my diagnosis and did my testing. symptoms. So you're right, the doctor couldn't cure me, but my body did. My body took care of the problem, and I had 70% death in my small nerve fibers. 70%. Now I haven't had a biopsy since then. I don't know what the count is. I'm just telling you my pain is gone. And that didn't occur because anyone laid hands on me. It didn't occur because anyone prayed for me. It occurred naturally through my own biology. And that can happen. So when I say it can be cured, that's what I mean. So don't infer things.
You did imply that could be cured. That it was able to stop the pain. That's pretty amazing. That's thank God for His intelligent design of the human body. It's an amazing machine. Really, it's just amazing. So I'm happy for you that your neuropathy was not be permanent. That's good for you, and I'm glad for you that God intelligently designed your body so that it was capable of preventing it because it had not reached that state yet. But as for Sharon, she was cured instantly by the laying on of hands and prayer. See, which except for maybe kill the nerve, just snip it, I guess that would do it. But I don't know. Even then, you'd have a lot of nerves to kill, and that'd be really debilitating anyway, wouldn't it? So, but so thank God for who have not achieved the same level of deterioration to the nerve tissue coating that your body was able to put an end to the pain. I think that's wonderful. Good for you. As for Sharon, her pain stopped instantly, and it went away. So I fully believe you when you say your neuropathy pain came to an end. It wasn't medical science that did it for you, though. It was your designer that did. So that's wonderful.
Can you hear me? That's your opinion. My opinion is that it's a natural consequence of biological survival, and that's what I think did it. But that's okay. You can think it's a designer. As far as the issue of, you say that I'm lying. It was a cure. I said what I meant by that, my body cured itself. And I said all along the way that the doctors couldn't help. I said that. So I'm really disappointed that you want to characterize that as lying, because I certainly did not.
Supporting my case because you've admitted that medical science can do nothing for it, and that when the pain is when the damage has reached a certain level of maturity, that it will not go away. You've admitted that, and so you're only helped instantly and permanently with the laying on of hands and prayer. That's you're only supporting my case. And no, it is a fact that the designer is what gave your body the ability to do that. And see, because your body, you said natural. Nature couldn't design or build a single cell, much less an intercellular organism like a human being. It's irrational to think that way. Nothing in science supports that idea. That's a mild form of insanity we call evolutionism, which prove it to you right here and now that every living organism in this world, including yourself, was intelligently designed and specially created. And I'll do it with science.
that peripheral neuropathy can never get better, that once it reaches a certain stage, and I think that I was certainly at that stage, that medicine could not help me, but I didn't require, that I know of, any sort of, that's an intelligent design. Well, then why didn't Sharon get better? I mean, why don't other people with neuropathy get better? I'm just saying that sometimes people with neuropathy do get better, and some don't, but that's biological, it's not supernatural.
Because you said you think you were at that stage where it would be permanent and everything. Obviously not. It went away, didn't it? Obviously not, then. Doe. See? For the pain to have been permanent. Because it went away. See? And that still doesn't change the fact that Sharon's went away with the laying on of hands and a prayer. And it's incurable. So, nature didn't impart this. Your designer, your intelligent designer did. And as I said, I can prove to you that every living creature in the world was intelligently designed, specially created, including you, and I can do that for you right here and now if you like. But nature can't. It has no potential to create an organism like this. So, if you want this proof, I'll be happy to provide it for you. But first, if you want to go down that path, and I'm sure you don't, but if you did, I would ask you first the question. I would ask, what power nature has to produce genetic information. What power does nature have to produce information? Which processes. See, because the DNA molecules is an information storage medium. It's a medium for storing genetic information. It is intangible because we can print the Encyclopedia Britannica on a rock or papyrus. Therefore, the information is not bound to its medium. You see, information is not bound to its medium, and it's of mind. All examples of information come from mind. So, the fact that the DNA molecule is a carrier for information, which is intangible, immaterial, not bound to its medium, states that every DNA molecule in this world was intelligently designed by its intelligent designer, of at least the original created kinds, and therefore, because it was the information was also empirical evidence of special creation as well as intelligent design. See, so nature didn't impart any such thing to you. You're welcome to believe that rock poop came alive. You're welcome to believe that. I would ask you to consider this one thing, though. But you know, how is it that you're willing to believe in it when there's not enough time for the evolution idea to have produced the variety of life that exists in this world? You see, because when we study life forms and what man has known about life forms throughout the history of mankind, we know of lots of different creatures throughout history. Man is, you know, dog, deer. Have been interacting with man for the last several thousand years, right? But man has not observed the change in the design of any one of these creatures at all. Creature throughout the history of mankind. An elephant in 2000 BC is just like an elephant today. The drawings of them are the same. Because they're just an elephant. See, nothing has changed. Okay. Now, if we take that 4,000 years And we compare that, we extrapolate that backwards over the many millions of years. Species that exist in the world today, you just start getting the picture. There's not nearly enough time. And not only that, when we consider the fossil which are called living fossils, and that is creatures that are exactly like in the fossil as they are today, not changed one iota, not a bit. In fact, there are sealed in amber, which is fossilized tree sap, and these fossils are outrageously high in quality. I mean, they are just nearly perfectly preserved. Thousands of years old, sometimes hundreds of thousands of years old, and we can examine them, and they are exactly alike midges, mayflies, mosquitoes, ants. Them today have not changed one iota, not one bit. So, see, by evolutionists to be millions of years old, tens or hundreds. Sometime we have shrimp, for example, in the fossil record that are claimed to be 420 are unchanged from modern shrimp swimming in our oceans today. Not one iota are they different, not one iota. Okay, so that just demonstrates that life doesn't change structurally. Now, if they haven't changed in 400 million years or 100, it's not enough time in the history of this planet, even if the planet were 5 million years old, 5 billion years old, for that exists. If evolution was a real process, you would need a planet that was 100,000 billion years to be true, because they have not changed in tens of millions or hundreds of millions of years. So you see, it doesn't stop for anything. And here's why. Because it is claimed that random genetic mutations affect the genomes of organisms. You see, and random genetic mutation does not stop for any creature, no matter what environment it lives in. Be true. Sorry.
Hey, NephilimFree, I got two. I'll ask when you come back.
To neph, but I mean, why should I accept what he says? I disagree with it. You know, and he can cherry pick, and that's fine. But that doesn't disprove evolution at all. Not at all.
And I think he's wrong about quite a few things, but I think it's pretty much okay. There he is. that evolution is wrong. I've been looking through a lot of your videos, and you don't, I mean, I haven't found evolution being wrong doesn't demonstrate that creation is right. I mean, even if evolution's wrong, I mean, creation or evolution is a false dichotomy. Evolution being wrong doesn't demonstrate that creation is true. So, what evidence do you have for creation? Now, the only DNA is a code, or DNA is a message, or DNA is encoded into our genome, and they're only come from minds. And there is a huge logical fallacy in that. When you say DNA is a message, or DNA will understand it. Saying DNA is a message or a code, it's like saying my eye is a camera. I mean, my eye kind of is a camera. Message, but it's not literally a message. DNA isn't a message in the same way a book is a message. When they describe it as a code, that's an analogy to help people understand it. Codes, like the code, require intelligence. Just because we use the same word, just because some things we call intelligence, saying that, oh well, things that we call codes require intelligence, and these people fallacy. Just because we use the word code to identify one thing that's intelligent, that doesn't demonstrate code or DNA is a message, therefore it must have been done by intelligence. That is an equivocation fallacy. When you say that. So, you know, I mean, can you either clarify that or give some other evidence?
It's an analogy because that's what it is. See? It's a fail right there. We call it that because that's what it is. And geneticists don't say, you know, it's code because... I don't see that. What you see is just geneticists write that it is code. Because that's why they're silly. That's like me pointing to a car and say, you know what, I could use an analogy to call that a car, but that's not a car. Your eyes and thumbs in your ears to play that game, and it's fail. But DNA... there's no argument in science that can change that fact. You know? Rational to think that way, and we have no evidence in science that it's possible either. No evidence in science at all. Laboratory under specified special conditions that he has prescribed, and he has not created DNA, a strand of DNA. First off, he hasn't design, by the way, is not information, has no information. It wasn't designed to code. So you have, let's say, one mutation that produces some known benefit, and 900. You know what that means? That means that entropy is occurring to the DNA molecule. Mathematics. The imagined benefit from the rare, and I do mean rare, benefit can never overcome the general negativity of random mutation. Window, and eventually those bullets will produce the one bullets are going through are going to turn into something spectacular because those bullets are passing. How much nonsense? Imagined rare benefit that we see from an exceedingly rare genetic mutation can somehow overcome. Even logical, it's irrational. And if you believe it, you're suffering from a mild form of insanity because you're outside. And I think anybody who's outside of reality and denies realities that deeply, insanity is called humanism / evolutionism. We've had 90 years of experimentation with it, and there thousands of experiments are being. Random mutations is that they're negative. They cause weakness, deformity, and death in almost every case. Neutral. But they aren't actually neutral. We just don't see in the organism the molecule and the genes are overlapping and embedded and whatnot, and that by modifying the information we can know that any mutation that we don't see, we can assume very safe effect is also negative because of what we observe about the majority. That is very negative. Weakness, deformity, and death. You know,